Hey y'all, welcome back to Blindverse Review. So today I brought the Friday the 13th Part 3 3D NECA figure based on Jason Voorhees. Obviously he's the protagonist of the franchise, he's the main killer, so I brought it here. This is the reissued version, and it already has been a while since this thing has been released, and as some of you might know, if you are one of my older subscribers out there, I'm not a huge fan of Ultimate figures. I'm more of a fan of cult classic and movie maniacs figure, like the old retro figures. But Part 3, I had a great chance of getting this guy from someone I know who also shares the same hobby within the other community that I hang around here locally. So really thankful to him for providing me a chance to get this guy on hand. And yeah, let's get straight to the review. You see the box? It moves. It's in like those holographic cover for the box, so it moves. This has to be the best action figure box out of all the NECA stuff that I've been owning so far, collecting so far. This is awesome. Look at that. I want to keep doing that all the time. I want to see this box right next to me 24/7. Really cool. At the side you see a picture of Jason Voorhees. At the back side you see some stuff, some description about Jason or the movie, I believe. Really nice. Same picture, nothing much at the bottom. At top as well. Look at that. That is pretty cool. Before we get into the figure, we're gonna go through the accessories. So first, we have a wrench over here. Pretty nicely detailed. A bit rusted, it seems. Really nicely painted. Pretty simple looking, but quite detailed for such a small accessory. A little tiny knife over here with some blood on it. Quite nicely done as well. Get a pitchfork kind of thing. Really nice. It's a little bendy on the softer side because it's really thin, but do be careful. It might break apart if you give it too much pressure. We have an axe, which is my favorite accessory for this Jason Voorhees. Really nicely done. Look at that. Look at the blood everywhere and things. By the way, I'm not so sure as I'm recording this. There might be a background noise because it's raining insanely outside right now. So yeah. This is the, what should I call this? Like spear gun kind of thing. He shoots this to the women in the movie, right? Just directly shoots to the eye, from what I remember. Really cool to have this accessory. Really, really cool. And we have this thing, I'm not so sure what to call this, but you have it as well. Orange colored at the tip. Quite nicely made handle. Really, really cool. Let's get to the separate head sculpt with the Jason's mask. Look at that. This is the damaged one where the axe, was like just chopped right over his forehead, near the forehead area. Really cool. Look at that. Look at the blood everywhere. Really like how it's done. Like especially this strap over here. Really nicely done. All the damage you see in the blood of the mask. And when you take the mask off, as you can do it, the backside, it's quite nicely done as well. And yeah, and we have a damaged head itself. Look how terrifying Jason looks. Really is terrifying, isn't it? Look at the detail everywhere. A bit of vein, I believe. Look at that. Classic looking Jason. Love how the color of the blood is done. Look how glossy it is. And damage of the axe. The cool thing about this is that you can actually put the axe here at the scar area if you give it a bit of pressure. It's actually, I find it quite hard to do. Actually, it is really hard somehow. Maybe there's some way of doing this, but it is just really hard to put the axe on my figure, at least. It's kind of hard to. I'm giving it a quite of pressure, but still it wouldn't stay there. But Just letting you know, it does stay on there. It's supposed to. It just doesn't really work on mine. Maybe I'm just bad at it, because the person who pre-owned this that I know, he also showed me a picture where the axe was already attached to the head over here before he sent it to me. And I really wanted to do the same thing, but I just find it quite difficult doing it. It's just me. Okay, I just managed to do it with the mask on. So it's like... Okay, hold on. Why did I take it out? There we go. With the mask on, it seems much easier. Look at that. That is awesome. It even stays on there, on the axe. That is amazing. But, damn. Really love this thing. Look at that. But I'm still going to display it with a classic clean head, so. Let's have a look to the machete, though. Easy takeout. It's on his hand. Attached. Yep. Look at that. A little rusted. Maybe it's like a sticky leftover blood that was already there. It is really nicely made. The handle's nicely painted as well. Really cool. Love this accessory. And now finally, let's get to Jason himself, because it is really an amazing figure. Hello, Jason Voorhees. Look at that. Do you see the eyes behind the mask? That is really cool. The classic Part 3. Easily the most iconic version of Jason Voorhees. Pretty confident that a lot of people will agree with this, for Part 3 being one of the most iconic Jason Voorhees out there. But Part 4 as well. I really do love the one as well. I need to get the Part 4 figure as well. Like, how do I not even have one yet, after collecting so many horror figures for years now? But here it is. This mask is generally cleaner, should I say. It's more cleaner than the damaged head, as I shown you before. It still looks quite old, you know. Focus, please. Yep, the side, it's nicely done. The straps, the back side, really nicely done. The other side of the head, really nicely done as well. And when you take the mask off, get the clean version of Jason's head. Really nicely done. His head is more on the clean side as well. The back side of the mask, slight weathering that went into here. Love the mask. It's in somewhat solid plastic. It's kind of thin, so just do be careful. Let's have a look into his jacket or shirt. The difference between the old one and the reissued version of this figure is that the reissued one has a painted inner shirt in white at the center over here. I'm pretty sure the older one doesn't. Not a lot of people mention this, but yeah, that's the difference that I could find. The shirt is really nicely done. Generally, the hand sculpt is amazing as well. The fingernails, look at that. The veins on the hand, really nicely painted and sculpted. Though, of course, as of being one of those classic NECA stuff out there, you get scuffs at the wrist hinge. Not too much though, but I didn't really got any scuff at the knee section and the arm at the jacket, so that is a pretty good thing. NECA, again, as I always tell you, NECA always has a problem with paint chip for wrist for human-based figures. Nicely done wrinkle at the back. Look how bulky he is. Look at that. Love the split at the jacket over here, behind the pants. Look at that. Lovely. A bit of weathering. The blood over here, where he got stabbed in the film on this part. And I find it quite funny. I feel like this particular blood section for the pants is hand painted. Every people who owns this, from what I've seen on the review at least, had a slightly different way of how this blood is painted for their own figure. I believe it's hand painted for the blood at least. Anyways, you get the weathering at the pants. The boots are really nicely done as well. A peg hole at the bottom. Really cool. Really cool. And getting to his articulation, I'm gonna be careful. His head moves side to side. There is up and down joint, kind of stiff on mine though. His arm moves up. There's a single joint for the arm, but it does move a little bit more than 90 degrees. Over there, his wrist swivels. Hinge up and down. There's a ball joint at the waist, so it moves. Ball jointed leg, so it splits, moves up and down. There's like a 90-degree bend at the knee, kind of stiff again on mine. There's a up and down hinge for the feet. Side to side rotation, there's a bit of pivot, and that is it for the articulation, pretty much. And just like classic Ultimate NECA figures that's available out there, they mostly do have the same kind of articulation, right? I mean, it's the same Ultimate series, so cannot really do much about it, but it still has a decent amount of articulation. Like, Jason doesn't do like way too much stylish stuff, right? Not too much stylish, like not too stylish. That's what I mean. I mean, of course, he bring you a lot of really good death scenes and killing scenes. You don't need like insane amount of articulation like Revoltech, right? No, this is in order to keep a great amount of detail in his general appearance and keeping the decent amount of articulation. I think NECA did a pretty good job for the Ultimate figures like this. Really appreciate it. Well, that is pretty much it for the review. Yeah, I really do love this version of Jason. Part 3 is definitely my favorite. Part 2 is also my favorite, actually. I'm not so sure why Pamela Voorhees isn't getting in stock locally. It's been a couple months already since that thing already has been out there. I've seen a lot of reviews for her, but it just, I don't know, the stock is getting, really late here locally, so I'm still waiting for that thing. Not so sure. If I ever get a chance to get Ultimate figure of Pamela Voorhees, I will do a review of that as well. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, I will come back with another review.